You have slain an enemy.
What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the Marksman assassin hero, Yi Sun-shin. Yi Sun-shin have a good set of dash and area of effect skills. Our Paenlong Legend, Yi Sun-shin is a Marksman assassin hero. I consider Yi Sun-shin as a Marksman melee hero, since his passive lets him use both his glaive and longbow depending on his distance from the target. Not only that, his ultimate can show the location of the enemies anywhere in the map. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Yi Sun-shin based on my experience. We will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain his skills one by one for further understanding. Yi Sun-shin's passive Heavenly Vow lets Yi Sun-shin use either his longbow or glaive during combat. He uses his longbow when his distance is far from the target, while being near the target lets him use his glaive automatically. After each weapon swap, his next two attacks will be enhanced. The first attack will deal critical damage. The second attack will deal critical damage as well but has lower damage than the first one. The second attack also grants him additional movement speed for a while. Each enhanced attack dealt reduces the cooldown of his first skill by a second. Aside from these, his base is transformed into a naval fleet. Every long while or after respawn, a turtle ship is spawned at the allied base. Yi Sun-shin can ride the turtle ship and gain additional movement speed for a while. While on the turtle ship, his first skill has a different effect. Yi Sun-shin's first skill, Traceless, lets Yi Sun-shin slash forward. Using this skill will have Yi Sun-shin slash forward with his glaive, dealing physical damage to enemies along the path. He becomes immune to crowd control while dashing and gains damage reduction for a short while. While aboard the turtle ship, this skill has a different effect. You can launch the turtle ship towards a specified direction. Ship will explode on the first enemy hit. Target's hit will be stunned and will also be receiving physical damage. Yi Sun-shin's second skill, Blood Floods, lets Yi Sun-shin either slash swiftly with his longbow or charge his longbow for a burst damage from his arrow. Without charging this skill, Yi Sun-shin slashes swiftly with his glaive and will deal physical damage to enemies hit. When holding the button of this skill, Yi Sun-shin will charge his longbow while having his movement speed reduced. Releasing the button will shoot a powerful arrow towards the specified direction. Enemies hit along the path will receive physical damage. The damage scales with the time spent on charging and the damage decays with the number of enemies hit. Upon casting, he now gains the enhanced 2 basic attacks from his passive skill instantly. Yi Sun-shin's ultimate skill, Mountain Shocker, lets Yi Sun-shin command the naval fleet to launch 3 waves of cannon attacks. Upon clicking this skill, the 3 cannon attacks will hit all enemy heroes. Each cannon attack will deal physical damage and will slow down enemies. Enemies hit by multiple cannons can only receive a maximum of 150% damage. Aside from that, Yi Sun-shin's passive damage is increased each time this skill levels up. There are so many items that you can buy for Yi Sun-shin. You can focus on items that grants physical attack, extra damage effects, critical hit chance and damage, and items that gives you movement speed. You can focus on the Burst Yi build if you want to focus on burst damage dealing. You can also focus on Tarzan build if you choose to farm more in the jungle. But let's focus on the Kurumi way further.
Has been
As for starting item, you can consider buying Hunter's Knife or Raptor Machete, but for the Kurumi way, we just settle for Hunter Knife. This will grant you additional experience and damage to jungle monsters. This is a great item in early game, since it will help you level up faster while killing jungle monsters. For your kicks, you can consider Magic Shoes. Magic Shoes grants additional movement speed and cooldown reduction. The cooldown reduction can help you cast more of your skills. You can consider buying Berserkers Fury. This item gives you additional physical attack and critical chance. Its unique passive grants you additional critical damage on your critical hits. Also, dealing critical hits will increase your physical attack by a certain amount for a short period of time. This is helpful since you deal sure critical damage with your enhanced basic attacks from your passive skill. Buying attack items, such as Endless Battle, can boost your damage effectively. This item gives you additional physical attack, health, mana regen, lifesteal, movement speed, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive grants you additional true damage on your next basic attack after using a skill. Triggering the passive of this skill also grants you additional movement speed. You might also want to consider Wind Tucker. This item grants you attack speed, movement speed, and critical chance. Its unique passive grants your next basic attack to deal magic damage to 3 enemy units. The magic damage caused can deal critical damage and will deal more damage to minions. You might want to consider Queen's Wings. This item grants physical damage, health points, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive reduces damage taken by 50% when your health is less than 40%, and also increases your physical lifesteal by 30%. This lasts for 5 seconds. This effect has a really long cooldown. Lastly, you might want to consider Blade of Despair. This item grants additional physical attack and movement speed. Its unique passive will give you additional physical attack when the target's health is below a certain percentage. The movement speed bonus can also help you chase enemies or escape death. The item build for Yi Sun-shin really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's descriptions so you can adapt in-game. One of the best spells to be used on Yi Sun-shin is Purify. This will help you to be immune to crowd control skills for a short period. This will let you use your skills or basic attacks without the worry of being stunned. You can also consider Flicker. You can use it to escape danger, even death. You can also use this to reposition yourself in team fights. In my opinion, the best emblem set to be used is the custom Marksman emblem set. Custom Marksman emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a marksman. Set Bravery to its max level because it can give you extra physical attack. Higher physical attack will give you higher damage dealt to enemies. Setting Doom to max level will provide you additional critical damage. Higher critical damage means higher damage on your critical hits. Get Electro Flash to boost your movement speed. Within a few while of dealing damage with basic attacks, your movement speed is boosted and will regenerate your health equivalent to a percentage of your physical attack. This has a cooldown of 10 seconds. But if you are looking for alternatives, you may settle for Custom Assassin Emblem instead. Set first skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the cooldown of this skill lower. That means you can fly in and fly out easily in team fights. Prioritize second skill less since your first skill is what you need for mobility and crowd control immunity. Always upgrade your ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Yi Sun-shin's passive skill is what you need to deal lots of critical hits to the enemies. Before we proceed explaining his passive, take note that your base is transformed into a naval fleet. Beside the base, turtle ships are spawned. You can aboard these ships to enhance your movement speed and change the effect of your first skill, which will be explained later on. When you get on a turtle ship, the other one will disappear and will begin its cooldown before it appears again. Now, let's proceed explaining his weapon and mastery on his passive. He switches the weapon he uses depending on how close the target is to him. He uses longbow when the target is far, while he uses his glaive when the target is close to him. Each time he switches his weapon, he activates his passive's enhancement on his next two basic attacks. The enhanced basic attack grants him a sure critical hit. The critical damage on the first enhanced attack is higher than the critical damage from the second. But the second critical hit grants him additional movement speed. Take note that each enhanced basic attack you deal will reduce the cooldown of your first skill. You can utilize the changing of weapons along with your other skills to deal continuous critical damage to enemies. Take a look on this scenario. All my basic attacks dealt were all critical damage because I utilized switching my weapons. With my second skill, it automatically granted me another set of enhanced basic attacks to burst down the enemy. With my first skill, it made me close to the enemy to let my glaive do the trick. So better utilize this on killing jungle monster as well to farm faster. Yi Sun-shin's first skill is what you need for mobility, with the ability to dash towards a specified direction while damaging enemies along the path. This is really helpful to either chase enemies or escape death. You can also use this skill to reposition yourself to switch your weapon from glaive to a longbow. This will now trigger your passive for enhanced basic attacks. Take note that every enhanced basic attack you deal will reduce the cooldown of this skill. When you are aboard the turtle ship, this skill has a different effect. You can launch the turtle ship towards a specified direction. Enemies hit will receive physical damage and will be stunned. This is really helpful to contribute crowd control to save allies and to help kill enemy heroes. Yi Sun-shin's second skill is what you need to either shoot enemies from afar or slash enemies in front of you. Before we proceed, take note that using this skill in any way will grant you 2 enhanced basic attacks from your passive skill. Anyway, this skill's range varies if you charged it enough or not. When you just click on the skills button or just hold it a little bit, Yi Sun-shin will slash everything in front of him and will be dealt with physical damage. This is best to be used when in combat against a melee enemy hero. When the enemy gets near you and you don't have enhanced basic attacks from your passive, use this skill to slash them and you gain another 2 enhanced basic attacks. This will let you deal almost non-stop critical damage to the enemies. On the other hand, when he charges it for a longer time, or when you see the skill guide changed into a thin bar, this means that releasing the button will launch a charged arrow towards the specified direction. And take note that after releasing it, your next 2 basic attacks are also enhanced. So make sure you utilize this skill to deal non-stop critical basic attacks. Also, the charged arrow's range is really long, so you can use this to kill escaping enemies. But take note that your movement speed is reduced while charging, so there is a chance that the enemy can escape from you. Yi Sun-shin's ultimate skill is what you need to attack all enemies anywhere in the map. Using this skill will have the naval fleet shoot 3 cannon attacks to all enemies anywhere in the map. Each hit will deal physical damage to enemies and will have their movement speed reduced. You can use this skill to assist your allies if you see they're in combat with the enemies. You can browse your screen through the mini-map to check if your allies need your ultimate skill. Just like on this scenario, Roddick checked on him and saw that he needs help. So Roddick used his ultimate skill to slow down the enemies and deal decent damage to them. But it just so happened that he was able to kill an unexpected enemy. This is also best used when you need to check the locations of the enemy, since this will show enemies even if they're inside a bush. So use this especially if your team is attempting to kill the Lord or push turrets for objectives. Here we go again with our experiments. We will test some scenarios against Yi Sun-shin which could either benefit them or destroy them. First, let's have Natalia. Let's see if Natalia's silence can stop our second skill's charging. As you can see, our charging stopped. This is how Natalia silences her ex who keeps bad-mouthing about her. Anyway, this should also be applicable to other skills that silences target enemies. Next, we have Kaja. Let's see if we can pull Yi Sun-shin during his dash with first skill. As you can see, Yi Sun-shin was able to dash when we used our ultimate skill, but he was still pulled after his dash towards us. So beware of Kaja's ultimate skill because it's a skill from the gods. Next, we have Gaotkacha. Let's see if we can dodge Gaotkacha's ultimate skill. As you can see, we received the damage from his skill but we weren't knock up. So even knock up effects won't affect Yi Sun-shin during his first skill. Next, we have Akai. Let's see if Akai's spin-a-rooney could stop our dash. As you can see, we were able to dash through Akai. Yi Sun-shin is definitely the master of ghosting. Next, we have Jawhead. Let's see if we can dodge Jawhead's ultimate skill. As you can see, we weren't stunned but he was still able to chase us. Well, at least Yi Sun-shin was not stunned. Next up we have Saber. Let's see if we can dodge Saber's ultimate skill with our first skill. As you can see, we weren't knocked up and was able to escape from it, but we still received the damage. At least we were able to get out of that toxic relationship. Next up, we have Silvana. Let's see if we can use his first skill to shrug off the hold from Silvana's ultimate skill. As you can see, we weren't able to get out of her ultimate skill. This is why you shouldn't try ghosting anyone to begin with. Next, we have Franco. Let's see if we can dodge Franco's hook with our first skill. As you can see, we weren't stunned or pulled by his hook. This makes you safe from being hooked by a pro hooker. Last but not the least, we have our recently favorite hero to experiment with. Let's see if our turtle ship can stop Gord's ultimate skill. As you can see, Gord's ultimate skill is definitely immune to stun effects. I don't even know why we were asked to test this scenario since it's pretty obvious, but I can't say no to free food. In terms of his combo, you can formulate lots of combos because he uses 2 weapons. Variations of combos can be formulated, but let me show you how we do it the Kurumi style. This first combo involves more ranged attacks which can fit those who are really cautious going in team fights. First we charge our second skill. We just release it when the bar below reaches red as much as possible to achieve maximum damage. Then we deal ranged basic attacks because our next 2 basic attacks are enhanced. Then we use our first skill to get near to the enemy. Then we deal melee basic attacks because being near to the enemy will let us use our glaive instead. The next 2 basic attacks are also enhanced due to the changing of weapons. Then, if ever the enemy is still alive, use your first skill to dash away from the enemy to make your basic attack switch to your longbow, making your next 2 basic attacks enhanced again. This next combo now involves more melee attacks which can put you in danger since you are in team fights. First, use your ranged basic attacks if ever it is enhanced. If it's not enhanced anymore, use your first skill to get near to the target. Then since you are beside the target, your glaive will enhance your next 2 basic attacks. Then use your second skill to slash the enemies in front of you. Using this will also enhance again your next 2 basic attacks. Then deal again melee basic attacks. If ever the enemy is still alive and will definitely run from you. Just keep dealing basic attack because it will shift from your glaive to your longbow, which again will grant you enhanced basic attacks. Here is a smooth preview on how we somehow utilize the transition of weapons. Additional tip in case you already used your enhanced basic attacks with your longbow, but you don't want to dash near the enemy because it's too dangerous, you can use your second skill to deal a quick slash. Even if it doesn't hit anyone, at least your next 2 ranged basic attacks are enhanced again. This will serve as your emergency button for more burst damage. Also, be merciful sometimes. Even if they are your enemies, try to give them compassion to make them enjoy the game more. Well, I'm just kidding. Roddick probably just miscalculated this scenario and let Alice go away by accident. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Yi Sun-shin. This video just guides you on how to use Yi Sun-shin the Kurumi way. We would like to thank our Wakandian brother, Rakuten, for being our lab rat for this bootcamp. You can search for him in-game and tell him how much you appreciate him, willing to sacrifice his pride and honor to be a test subject. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe and bell button. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab for the giveaway event post. We have our coffee account just in case you want to donate us some coffee funds. Check our coffee link on the description of this video. Please only trust bootcamp videos from our official accounts. See you on the next Mobile Legends bootcamp. Cheers.